I guess my first makeup memory is when I was a child, really. My mom, she's really beautiful with or without makeup, but she was definitely, to me, a beauty queen. You know, she would curl her hair, wear a good amount of makeup, and I always saw my mom as that, like, feminine figure, and so I always admired that. But it wasn't really until I got into punk rock music in my early teens that I started exploring makeup, and I guess it was just more of like a form of self-expression. It wasn't so much about beauty. Like, I just, if I wore eyeliner, it was more dramatic or whatever, and it wasn't like considered pretty. After the success of the television shows and everything, I think that was the initial interest that Sephora saw in me. They were like, who's this girl? And she's always wearing red lipstick and we should talk to her. And then when we finally met, it just became a really great collaboration. I tend to make fun of my style because I think you should. I think people take themselves way too seriously, and for me it's all about having fun. And I think that's probably why I get along really good with kids, because like kids look at me like a cartoon character, where I think adults tend to be more frightened of me, you know, like, oh shoot, she wears all black, or look at her crazy makeup and or big shoes. And for me it's I don't know, I think it's fun to be able to play with these things, whether it's fashion or makeup or hairstyles and things. A lot of people ask me the question of like, how does it feel to transition from tattooing to makeup, but I don't really see it as a transition because I still do tattoos. I'm also not just a tattoo artist, you know, I play music, I draw, I paint, I do everything, I want to do everything. So I think makeup is just one more, you know, artistic expression and another outlet that I have. I'm hoping that being in the public eye, that in some way it inspires girls and guys too, to really, you know, take reins and express themselves and follow their artistic dreams, because if I can do it, you know, somebody who didn't even graduate high school, you know, then you can do it. I pride myself in being creatively involved in the entire process, everything from the idea, you know, which is birthed in my mind, and then I usually draw it out, to the shade names, to the package design, every single lettering, all the graphic, the artwork, and the inspirations behind the collections and stuff. I do all of that. I think for some people it would probably be difficult to work with me because you know, I'm not one of those like celebrities who just put their name on something and then they're like, let me just get a paycheck. Like for me, it's like, hey, if this is off, it needs to be like, you know, I micromanage things, but it's because I love it. And you're right, I think that element of my makeup line, I'm proud to say that it stands out amongst others because it's not just a product, it's a love story. I don't feel the pressure from the outside world when it comes to like producing anything. It's mainly like I'm my own biggest critic. So I think sometimes I tend to get in my own way because I'm like, oh, well, it needs to be perfect. But at the end of the day, I think there's something to be said, something that's done with quality and there's a longevity in it. And that's what I'm interested in. You know, I don't care about seasons or what's in trend because I want all of my pieces to be on trend all the time. I think one attribute that I love about my makeup line is that there is that versatility. For example, you take those eyeshadow palettes that we were playing with earlier. When I create those, I look at it as I put myself in the position of two people. I put myself and I go, okay, cool, I can create all this dramatic, crazy looks. And then I put myself in the position of my mom, who does not dress like me. She's quite conservative. Her approach using the same tools would be much different. And I think that that's the beauty of makeup, is that like you can take a wild color and wear it in a way that is not so wild or is more sophisticated, or you can do it, you know, in a crazy, more you know, expressionistic kind of way. I've been so excited about finally launching Kat Von D Beauty here. I've noticed just on Instagram alone, you know, I see these beautiful posts, and I mean, the women of the Middle East are not afraid of a bold eye, and I love that because that's how I feel about, you know, makeup in general. So I think that they're gonna definitely be excited to try out, like, of course, all the eye products, the eyeliners and things like that, but I think like the long wear and the foundation and in the lip colors, I think they're gonna absolutely love it, especially because of the heat, you know?